Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much once again joining me for tea time. I appreciate you being here. Where's my cup of tea? Well, today is going to be tea time, but we're going to be trying to read the tea leaves and figure out where the market is going. I love taking a look at the BCN awards or BCN rankings every month or every other month to try to report back to you with what is going on and try to discern which way the market is going. Who's coming up, who's going down, who's stagnant, what the heck is going on. But I think it's very important so that if you are a new camera buyer, well, you want to be with a company that is moving forward, moving upward, and not staying stationary or going downhill, right? So I think that this is very important for our market in general. Now, today, before we get into all of this, I want to say that if you haven't downloaded any of my ebooks as of yet, please go check them out. They are free. Go over to JCristina.com/books. Once again, JCristina.com/books. Also, if you get anything out of this video, if you enjoyed it, throw the video a thumbs up. That would be very helpful. Also, consider subscribing to the channel. And if you have subscribed, click this little bell icon over here so when I go live or when a new video comes out, you will be notified of it immediately. Now, before I get into this, I want to say that a company sent me over something, and a lot of different companies, they'll send me over stuff to take a look at, and I won't do a proper review on them, but I will look at the product, and if I like it, then I will talk about it again and say, hey, I liked it or I didn't like it. And if you don't hear about the product again, chances are I didn't like it. Well, a company sent me over these wallets, and I love wallets. I am fascinated with wallets. I always try getting something as small and compact as possible. And these are pretty damn cool, guys. Now, if you are a woman, then you have a purse and you can put your wallet, so to speak, everything into that purse. Now, yeah, that could be some back pain, depends on how heavy that purse is. But what men don't understand is they end up with these lower back pains and they're like, I don't know why. Why is my right hip? What is going on with my lower back? And the reason being is like, if you have a wallet like me and it looks like this is a bifold, right? But some people even have trifolds. They end up being like an inch, 2 inches thick with cards and all kinds of stuff in them. And I just hate that because later on, I'm like, God, what is wrong with my back? And it's because this damn thing, I'm sitting on it all day long, right? So these people sent me over these wallets, and the company is called Xterra. It looks like this, right? They sent me over 3 of them, right? See that? There's 3 different kinds. Xterra is the company. And one of them looks like this. I'm just going to show you what they look like. You see this? It's a bifold. Now, you know I absolutely love the bifold. And you have 2 card slots here, another 2 card slots there, but check this out. Watch this. Boom. You have another 2 card slots on the back side of this. And it's magnetic. You just stick it to it, and boom, it sticks on it. So I'm like, well, is that going to erase my cards or not? Well, probably not. I'm sure they figured it out. Another one, which is really quite neat, is this one right here. So it looks like a wallet also. Check that out. You have 2 card slots here, right? And you have 1 little slot here, but you have a little button over here. Watch what happens when you hit the button. Is that ridiculous? You have 6 cards, 6 credit cards that go into the top of this. And then when you just push the button, it pops out. So this is pretty thin, right? Not too bad, but then there's something even thinner, which is the equivalent to the inside of this is this thing. And this might be my go-to. I'm going to try this one first. So this one's really good if you need extra space, but check this out. So you have that same little thing at the bottom. You push it, all of your cards pop out. You have room for 1 extra card right here, and then you have room for some money to strap in right here. And that is it. What a great idea. I mean, just look at that. I mean, that's so smart, so smart. So I'm going to give it a shot. If this is something that interests you, I'll put a link to this down in the description. It's like their website / JCristina. So if you're interested in any of these, I encourage you to go check them out. I am definitely going to use this, and I will report back if I like it. If you don't hear me report back within the next 2 or 3 weeks, I hate them. Anyways, so let's jump into this BCN awards or BCN ranking. So I'm going to read this to you. It is a translation from Japanese, so It's not going to be 100%, but that's okay. Just bear with me. It'll sound a little bit funny here and there, but I don't care. I'm going to read it to you as it came. And then I want to get some of your thoughts. I'm going to give you my commentary, but I want some of your thoughts. What do you think about this? It says Sony recaptured the top share in mirrorless single lens digital cameras, recorded 34.8% of sales volume share in July. It returned to the top for the first time in 9 months since last October. Sony's recovery is due to the resumption of product supply. The ZV-E10, which has been a big hit in the digital camera market for a long time, resumed orders on June 24th. This is because the A6400, which maintains its deep-rooted popularity, resumed accepting orders on May 27th. The impact of the suspension of orders for popular product was enormous. Sony's market share, which stood at 41.8% in September last year, dropped sharply to less than half, to 15% by May. It was overtaken by OM Digital Solutions, amazing, which ranked third in the industry, and its market share fell to third place. Now, they do have a really nice chart that we can take a look at, but they continue by saying, looking at the sales shares by product, you can see how the popular Sony's vlog camera, that ZV-E10, did. However, production did not catch up and sales were sluggish. After the resumption of orders in July, it recovered vertically to a double-digit share of 13.1%. Although Canon has been pushed back by Sony's return, it is still able to maintain double digits in the market share. Now, here's another chart. This is great too. That gives you all of the information that we're really looking for. How Sony goes down, Canon goes up, and when Canon goes down, Sony goes up. It's very, very telling on how this market is going. Anyways, it continues by saying Sony's mirrorless camera sales share has plummeted from last fall to this spring, but it is recovering rapidly with the resumption of orders for that ZV-E10, as well as the Alpha 6400, the A6400. So Sony's popularity is alive and well. The battle for the top spot with Canon is likely to be fierce, but I would like to pay attention to whether Sony will continue to maintain the #1 sales share. In terms of sales share by model, while the ZV-E10 and the A6400 were absent, the KISS M2 dominated the market. The KISS M2, once again, in the United States, is the EOS M50 Mark II. But with the resumption of orders for these two models, referring back to the ZV-E10 and the A6400, the battle for share by model has become chaotic. Sony's expensive A7 Mark IV has a 5.6% market share, which I think is amazing, really. That's not too bad considering it is an expensive camera. So when we look at the chart, we can see that the Canon EOS M50 Mark II or the KISS Mark II right now is sitting at 10.8% of the market. Whereas we see Sony's ZV-E10 right now is up to 13.1% of the market. So it has definitely overtaken them. And even the A6400 now is at 9.2. So these cameras are really close. They are extremely close. And we can see OMD coming in third position with 7.3% of the market. But what is interesting, like I said before, there's this inverse effect that happens with Canon and Sony. We see a little bump when it came to OMD because Sony was out of the picture altogether because of supply issues, where there was no supply. And they shut down the A6400. They weren't supplying any more of those ZV-E10s and so on and so forth. And that's why we saw Canon just pick up. They were up to about 22% of the market at one point. Just that one camera alone. So it is definitely a big deal what goes on with supply. And if you cannot supply your customers are going to look elsewhere. But what I notice here is they're not looking elsewhere to OMD or to Panasonic or Nikon or Fuji. Most of these people are looking elsewhere to Canon or to Sony. And that is really about it. Because if we look at this chart where it looks at the actual sales of the companies themselves, you can see Canon and Sony are constantly fighting back and forth, whereas the rest of them are sitting at the bottom of the chain down here. Fuji at the very bottom, Nikon right above that, you have Panasonic right above that, finally OMD. So when a new photographer is looking for a camera, today they're looking for a Sony. Or if they can't find a Sony, they're looking for a Canon. Whereas years ago, this race was always a two-legged race for the most part. It was Canon and Nikon, and that was it. One went up, the other one went down. The other one went down, the other one went up. It was a back and forth type of thing. And the market moved forward, just like one step to the next step to the next step. And it was Canon and then Nikon and Canon and back and forth. That's how the market moved. Well, now it turned into a two-legged race again, but it's between Sony and Canon, where Nikon, once again, is all the way down here in abysmal territory, which I hope changes, especially with their Z9. That Z9 is absolutely stellar. I'll probably do a video just on that. There's a lot of just cool stuff that it does now. There's a lot of little things, little nuances that are just amazing to me that is available on that camera. I really do think Nikon has hit it out of the park with the Z9. The problem is, guys, who can afford the camera? That is a professional camera. Yes, it is a flagship camera that hopefully all of these niceties get just dropped into some of the lower end models. But we have to wait for that to happen because they're still just down there in the doldrums when it comes to total sales or market share. All right. It is a problem. It is definitely problematic. I mean, Panasonic is selling more. OMD is selling more. Olympus, now OMD. I mean, that's crazy. The only one that is lower than them currently as far as sales is Fujifilm. So with all of this information, I want to know your thoughts. Where do you think the market is going? Now that there's less of a supply chain issue going on, yeah, there's still problems getting product, but it's a lot better. The raw materials are becoming more readily available. The component level stuff is starting to become available, so on and so forth. So we're seeing cameras now coming out a lot more frequently, and there's not as many back orders. There's still back orders, but not as bad as it was 6-7 months ago. So I want to know your thoughts. Where do you think the market is going? So by the end of this year, who's going to be on top? Do you think Canon is going to be on top, or do you think Sony is going to be on top? Right now, Sony has reclaimed that first position when it comes to the mirrorless market, but will it stay that way? What do you think? What do you think? The one thing that I always want to say is that what drives the market is lower end cameras. And this is one of the reasons why I felt that these camera manufacturers need to make lower end cameras and not just all the high end stuff. The lower end cameras are what bring in new blood into your brand. And if you do not have that lower end camera to bring them on board and then slowly upsell them into your professional or prosumer grade cameras, how in the hell are you going to get them there? So, like I said, I want to know your thoughts on this. In the comments below, put those thoughts. Let's have this discussion. I hope you enjoyed this. If you have, as I said before, please throw the video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And click this little bell icon over here so when I go live or when a new video comes out, you'll be notified of it immediately. And finally, head over to my website, JCristina.com, where you can find all the photography tools I've invented for you and me over the years. And hopefully there's something there that you might like. And if there is, please pick it up and support me and my family. Don't forget, check out those wallets. I put that link below. Let me know what you think about those also. Is that something kind of cool? They look cool to me. I don't know. We're going to definitely give these a test run and I'll report back to you. Anyways, thank you so much for being here. Many blessings to you and your family. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you in the next one. Love you all.